Hi everybody, this is Crafty Librarian here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a glowing orb for Halloween or for cosplay. Now what you're going to need is these are do-it-yourself ornaments. I like them because they're generally a heavy-duty plastic, and plastic is always key when you're going to be bringing something around. You don't want something to break. But they're strong enough that they should actually last a couple of falls. And the great thing I like about these ones is I had one pack and I got a whole bunch of different shapes. So I've got small, medium, and large. I've got a heart or a star. So depending on what you're doing, you can use these just simply as an accent and hey, you're magical, or to put in, if you're doing cosplay, you could do a sailor wand, or you could do a glowing piece in your armor, or you could even put this in like a scepter or a staff. It kind of would give it a really good accent. But anyways, so today I'm just going to do, actually I'm going to use two of these. I'm going to show you just a little bit of a variation so you can decide what you want to do. You're going to need some clippers in order to remove the hook, paintbrush, paint. I prefer kind of a metallic paint, give it a bit extra shine. You're going to need something to diffuse the light, and if you can kind of see, this is just some very fine gauzy kind of ribbon, but you could use, I got this because it was on sale, but you could use tulle, you can use transparent kind of plastic bags crumpled up together. I wouldn't use Ziploc bags, I'm talking more about like shopping bags, which could work. And one of these is a light, which is what we're going to put in the thing. So this I got in about a 24 pack, and it was like $10. So these are pretty good. Supposedly, I haven't really tested them out, but it will last about several hours being lit straight. I mean, if you want, the good thing about these is even after we paint them, you'll still be able to separate it. So if you need be and you want it on all day, you can carry a couple of these with you, put it in as needed. Now I've got a couple of cups set aside here. So what we're going to be doing with the paint is making more of a wash, because I don't want it so thick that the light won't be able to get through. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to the paint to make it a little more transparent, and I'll show you that later. But let's get started. So you're going to separate your sides, and you're going to take your clipper and be careful so as the piece doesn't go flying. Ugh. Pop that out. So you're going to see it's a little jagged here, so you can trim it down as need be. There we go. And then we'll kind of buff it out a little with the sandpaper. Right, so that's one. Ooh. Good boy. There we go. That's two. Both. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Super easy. Now this is part of the optional thing that I was going to say. You can take one of your finer sandpapers and you're going to gently score the outside of one of the balls. It just gives it a little bit of more depth. You know, it doesn't make it as shiny, kind of I mean, it's up to you. It's totally optional. If you want kind of more of a glassy look to it, go for it. Now, normally I would be doing this outside, but it is currently pouring out. So I'm just going to do it here. Now, all you need to do is very lightly, and you're going to kind of keep going in a circular motion. Very lightly, just to score the outside. And you want to kind of keep the same kind of motion. Don't, you know, go back and forth and then turn it around and go sideways. And you want to just, you know, kind of keep it going. Look what you're doing while you're here. Just make sure that little lip where you were is smooth. Okay, now that you've scored the outside of your ball, just take a quick damp, slightly damp paper towel or cloth. You just want to give it a quick outside, just so you don't have dust everywhere. Okay, so now all of the pieces have the little hook area sanded down, and you can see the difference between non-sanded and sanded. So like I said, this is going to be a lot more shiny, and then this here is going to be kind of muted and rough, and this will also kind of give you a little more of a diffusion on your light. So now you get to choose your paint. So like I said, I have a couple of colors because I'm going to do one in purple and silver and the other in a green and silver, but you know, whatever you're going for, if you want, go wild, whatever you like. So it's not very much. Shake a bit of your paint, add it to your container. Again, like I said, these are just metallic, and I mean, it's really just a little bit. And I'm going to take some water, just a little. How much? That's up to you, how diffused you want it, how much paint you added in. Unfortunately, it's trial and error. Like this is a little too watery. So I'm going to have to add a little more paint. But too watery is, it's best to err on the side of caution, simply because you can always add another coat if it's too light. Can't really take a coat off if it's too thick. And for stirring paint, if you want, this is just a regular kitchen skewer. Right. So I've got my 3 colors prepared, and we are going to start painting. Like I said, you're just going to take some of your color and add it to the inside. Now you can see that it's very transparent, and that's kind of what you want. Like I said, you're going to kind of layer some of the colors. And if you don't want to do those many layers, that's fine. Feel free, you can leave your paint a little thicker. And I'm not being super careful because I kind of want to layer the colors. If you just wanted, you know, have a glowing orange orb or something like that, you know, you might want to be a little more careful. You can probably do a thicker coat too. And if you start and you go, wow, that is way more thin than I'd like, add more color to your water, add more paint to your water, I should say. Give it a stir and then have another go. Kind of be careful. Try not to get any paint on the outside. But if you do, you could always clean it up later if you find you missed something. So I'm going to let that one sit. So you see for the green one, for the smaller one, I have my paint a little thicker. So I mean, it's still transparent, but it's a little more solid than the purple. And again, it all depends on what you're going for. How many layers you want to make, how slow you want to take it. So after the first coat, you can kind of see if you flip it over the difference. The green is kind of much more solid, where the purple is a lot more transparent. So all you're going to do is let this dry, and then you're going to do your next coat. Once you've gotten your second coat done, you're just going to sit and let this dry. So this one, after I did a little bit, I'm just kind of going back and doing a bit of a swirl around it. See, it's got a bit of a swirl-ish to it with the colors, which I kind of like. Yeah. Kind of gets a bit of a little something, you know? You don't see it as much with the darker, thicker coating on the green though. Just a little bit here and there. So it's more of an accent than the main color. There we go. So you see it's pretty dark, but like here you go, you can still kind of see through it, and there's still some thinner spots here and there that more of the light will shine through. So all you have to do now is again let it dry, and then we will finish these ones up. Okay, so we are back. I let these dry overnight to make sure, you know, they're completely good. Now all we have to do is just finish them up. So I showed you my ribbon before. So this, like I said, I got at my little craft store. It was on sale, but you want any kind of gauzy, kind of see-through kind of ribbon. So there we go. Let's pull some of that out. So I will move this one to the side for now. Take this, and all you're gonna do is kind of smush it in. So I don't have an exact measurement. It depends on, you know, how big your orb is or how big your item is, whether, you know, but you just want it pretty full. And let's see, we'll take one of the lights. pop it right in the middle. So not only does this, you know, keep the light from smacking around, the gauziness will help diffuse it, so it's not, it's less like a flashlight beam, which goes out in one direction. It'll be more kind of like a lantern, so it's like all out. It'll give you more of an even glow around the whole orb. So we'll stick that right in the middle, and then we're gonna add some more so it fills up all the way. All right, it should be good. Grab your scissors and clip. And like I said, other options other than ribbon, you can do tulle, you could do clear shopping bags if you want to do that. You know, just make sure it doesn't have a logo on it, because that would definitely affect the thing. So it's kind of bright in here, but here's the light. And put that right in the middle. Cover up with the rest of the ribbon. Try and pack that down a little. And then all you have to do is, there you go. And I mean, you can shake it and you can't hear the light move around, which is good. And it's kind of bright now, so I'll try and put this in a darker room just to kind of give you a look of what it's going to look like in the dark. So that's pretty much all you have to do. And like I said, there we go. It's pretty easy to pop open, so you can replace your light. Unscrew it when, you know, if you want to save it, if you only have the one. Unscrew it so you can, you know, save your battery, and, you know, maybe put it in only when you're doing pictures or what have you. And that is it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a light up orb for your costume. Thank you very much for watching. I have been the Crafty Librarian. Bye.